Hey everyone, welcome back with Benoit. Today will be the final Aki comparison of the year and kick off what I hope will be the best month of Aki videos I have assembled. Next year we'll focus on some big additions for the channel, so stay tuned for some updates, but for now, it's time to compare the best WWF game and the best WCW Aki title and see how they fare. Let's break it down. As usual, we start off with the statistics of each game. Revenge was developed by Aki and, of course, released on the N64 console in America on October 26, 1998. Then in Europe on November 30th that same year. It has a reported sales total of 2.38 million on VideoGameCharts.com. WWF No Mercy released 2 years later by the Aki Corporation, published by THQ once again, exclusively for the Nintendo 64 on November 17th of 2000, with sales totaling around 1.50 million. Since Revenge is the oldest sibling, it goes first. The intro is one of the most memorable in wrestling game history. We start off with the Stinger stopping a trucker in the middle of the road, but after that weirdness, we see what WCW was all about. The NWO Black and White were at war with the NWO Wolfpack. We see the stars of World Championship Wrestling like DDP and Goldberg show their stuff, and the Cruiserweight division display their unique style of offense, before we end it all with a stare down between Sting, the ultimate WCW babyface, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the villain of World Championship Wrestling. No Mercy takes a similar approach and feels like the highlight reel of early 2000s WWF. We see references to The Rock taking on the McMahon family, Stone Cold raising hell at Backlash 2000, The Rock and Sock Connection, ladder acrobatics from Jeff Hardy, DX 2000, and McMahon Helmsley shenanigans, Tazz's illegal chokehold on Kurt Angle at the 2000 Royal Rumble, and so much more. On the main menu of Revenge, we have a single backdrop for all menus. We see the Nitro stage just hanging out in the background, but we can change the stage to one of the 6 arenas available. It all depends on which one you fought on last. No Mercy has an interactive menu. You browse through the locker room, green room area. There's 3 sections. Multiplayer has exhibition and other free play matches. Single player has championship and survival mode. And finally, commissioner mode features the SmackDown Mall and options menus. Character select has the iconic stone backdrop, while the SmackDown Mall features a blue wireframe aesthetic reminiscent of the Thursday night show at the time. The Revenge soundtrack features heavy guitars, drums, and bass. It has some of the best songs in the series during matches, such as Starcade, Sold Out, as well as extra tracks for championship matches. No Mercy has much more of a hip-hop influence, however. This is apparent on the menus and the match BGMs. Unlike Revenge, each stage doesn't feature its own unique music. 2000 WWF games in general feature odd but catchy tunes on the menus, and No Mercy certainly wasn't an outlier. These games were released at a time in wrestling where stage design was looked at as a key part of the presentation of the product. Big elaborate structures were the norm, so the virtual arenas were no exception. Revenge has a total of 6 arenas. WCW Nitro with the iconic stage all WCW fans fell in love with. A New World Order Sold Out that took place in January of 1998. Super Brawl 8 that was featured the next month. Bash at the Beach from July 1998. Halloween Havoc that took place in 1997 with the famous Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio matchup. And finally, Starcade 1997 that had the most infamous WCW match in its history. No Mercy has 10 total arenas to choose from, 2 of which are locked from the start. There's Raw's War with its updated 1999 aesthetics. No Mercy 1999, which is the pay-per-view this game is of course based off of. SmackDown, the focus of No Mercy's PS1 counterparts. King of the Ring 2000 that crowned King Kurt Angle. SummerSlam 1999, which had the return of then politician Jesse the Body Ventura. Survivor Series 1999, where Stone Cold was run down by Rikishi. The Royal Rumble 2000, home of one of the greatest street fights with Cactus Jack and Triple H. WrestleMania 2000 that had a McMahon in every corner in the main event. Backlash 2000 that featured the main event everyone wanted at WrestleMania, The Rock vs. Triple H, my all-time favorite contest. And last but not least, Armageddon 1999, which showcased the true birth of the McMahon-Helmsley power couple. Entrances in Revenge are interesting. No one has their proper themes, but we do have full entrances with big presentations. Wrestlers walk out on stage, pose sometimes with pyro, then make their way to the ring where they pull off their signature poses once again. In No Mercy, these entrances are cut in half. The proper wrestler music plays in the stadium, and then we get a few frames of their Titantrons. If they have a pose, they will do so on the ramp as usual, and then the entrance is over. We get accurate music, pyro, and lightning, but them cutting out the in-ring portion is certainly disappointing. The Rock, Stone Cold, Kane, and all 3 members of Too Cool have special after-match winning animations that play if the competition ended in the ring. Now that we've established the look, let's check out the gameplay. The gameplay of both titles is very similar, of course, since, well, they're both from the same series. You have spirit meters that start in the center as green. Doing poorly will drop it until it reaches blue, and finally the danger status, where you're at your opponent's mercy. Taunting, successfully pulling off offense, and reversing your opposition will have your meter increase until it starts to blink orange. Once blinking, you can taunt to access the special state, where you can use multiple finishers within a 20 to 30 second time limit. Everyone has front and back grapple finishers, but some wrestlers have Irish Whip Rebound, Corner, and high-flying finishers. These games are most well known for their awesome grappling system. Tap A to initiate weak grapples and hold A to apply strong grapples. Once in a grappled state, press A, B, or one of those buttons in combination with a direction for your choice of move. This works in all situations like front, back, turnbuckle, Irish Whip rebounds, aprons, and more. You also have weak and strong strikes with running versions too. Weak attacks gain minimum momentum but are difficult to reverse. Some weak attacks even contribute to your opponent's momentum. Strong attacks are the most damaging but easier to reverse overall. The goal is to use weak attacks and wear down submission holds to demoralize the foe until you can successfully pull off signature attacks that will lead to a victory. Things often aren't always this simple, but the formula is meant to replicate the pacing of an actual wrestling match. Although the basics are the same, both games have lots of minor differences that do set them apart. For example, in Revenge there is a hidden pin mechanic where wrestlers automatically kick out at 2 twice during the match unless if there is a massive, and I mean massive, health difference. So it's beneficial to throw out a few pin combos or attempts before you're ready to put your enemy away for good in Revenge. Then there's a test of strength button mashing minigame that starts if 2 wrestlers grapple at the same time. Certain wrestlers also have different fighting styles. Eric Bischoff, for example, only attacks with strikes and has no grapples. Guys like Goldberg, Ultimo Dragon, and Glacier have strike combos. Strong grapple and press B to activate and you'll have 6 strike opportunities. Press B or B with a direction to land a hit. But if your foe guesses which attack you will use, it will be blocked and may mean the end of the combo. Athletes with this ability gain 10 strikes during the special state. No Mercy takes the AKI formula and runs with it, although some features are removed like those mentioned above. We have more attacks and grapples now since you can press A or B in combination with a side button on the D-pad. Running grapples were planned to be added as specials in Revenge, but never surfaced for American audiences until No Mercy. There are some quality of life improvements too, like being able to drag enemies during a grappled state, weapons staying in the arena if they're dropped, throwing weapons at the opponent, and more positions to use specials. The biggest gameplay improvement has to be the new backstage environments. There's 5 new arenas that include the hallway, locker room, parking lot, sports lounge, and boiler room. You also have access to the many stages of each arena for lots of variety. Speaking of variety, I figure it's time to go over all the match types each game features. Revenge starts off with singles, tag team, and 2 special match variants, 2-on-1 handicap, and battle royal. The magic of the AKI matches is the ability to mix and match rules. You can set ring out or lack thereof, pins, submissions, TKO, whether or not falls count anywhere, and in team matches, you have tornado or tag options. In battle royals, you need at least 4, but you can have up to 40. Exclusive to this match is the ring out elimination feature. Once someone is thrown out of the squared circle, another victim comes to take their place. No Mercy has all these options and more. Handicap matches are now only available in tornado format. A new triple threat is available along with the cage match. You can only escape the cage to win. Unfortunately, no pin or submission options like other matches. 3 new extra special match types were added and are exclusive to No Mercy. There's a ladder match where the goal is to place a ladder in the center of the ring and grab either the briefcase or title hanging above. Then there's the guest referee match where one player is the official that counts pins, submissions, ring outs, and more. You have free reign to do whatever you want and even win the match for yourself. Finally, there is the Iron Man match where you have a set time limit and compete for points. Every time a win condition is met, you gain a point. If you are disqualified, you lose a point. The winner is the one with the most points once the time limit expires. You can have singles, tag team, 3-way, and handicap variations of all 3 of these matches except special guest referee, which doesn't allow for tag team rules since 4 is the max number of wrestlers allowed on screen. Many fans feel that these games feature the best of their respective companies roster-wise. 1998 was often considered the peak of talent in World Championship Wrestling during the Monday Night Wars, featuring icons of wrestling such as Sting, Booker T, Diamond Dallas Page, Goldberg, Bret Hart, Rey Mysterio, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, The Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, Lex Luger, and Roddy Piper, just to name a few. 2000 was the peak of WWF wrestling acumen, as we have a wide margin of talented superstars, from high flyers to technicians, submission specialists, brawlers, and some of the greatest storytellers in the business. The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Kane, Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, the Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge, Christian, Tazz, and Chyna are just some of the biggest names exclusive to No Mercy. With the Monday Night Wars still in the works when both games were released at a time when wrestlers were jumping from one promotion to the next, so there is a decent amount of crossover. Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, the British Bulldog, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn are wrestlers featured in both games. Interestingly enough, both games' single-player campaign is called Championship, but differ in design. In Revenge, you can choose from the World Heavyweight, United States Heavyweight, Tag Team, Cruiserweight, and Television titles. Face 8 contenders and then face the champ himself in the final match. There are no stories or breaks, just a classic arcade-style ladder game mode. When you win the belt, you unlock a new wrestler if it's your first playthrough, and then you can select a new wrestler, or you can pick the champion and go on a defending run and attempt to beat your previous high score. It is simple, but the high score system adds a ton of replayability to this mode. In No Mercy, the structure is the same. You select one of the 7 WWF titles, which consists of the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight, WWF Tag Team, Intercontinental, European, Hardcore, Light Heavyweight, and Women's belts. Then you go through a series of matches to eventually win or defend the title in the last match. What separates No Mercy's championship mode the most are the branching paths and storylines. Before most matches, you get a cutscene showing your motivation for the contest in that chapter. Most of them are connected and tell an entire story throughout, but most chapters also allow for change, depending on the factors like winning, losing, or other secret clear conditions in certain blocks. You can keep track of the chapters you've completed on the menu screen before starting a new show, and save here as well so you can return later. A lot of these paths are retellings of previous storylines on WWF TV from 1999 or early 2000. The stories don't always make sense, and some paths lead into seemingly random ones, but having something to display your chosen superstar's current motivations is a welcome addition and makes it feel like you're really on screen, competing for a title opportunity. The number of chapters depend on what belt you picked. There's 5 in the women's, 6 in the light heavyweights, 8 in the hardcore and European, 9 in the IC, and 10 for the world and tag team. The difficulty also gets more challenging each time you start a new campaign. The game allows you to set the difficulty in the options menu, but after a certain point, you're fighting high-level opponents no matter what. So the choice is essentially the ability to play on higher difficulties earlier. After winning a match, you'll earn some of the in-game currency known as SmackDown dollars. Then upon completing a title run, the overall amount is added to the money in your bank, as well as any new paths that you have completed. That's not all these games have to offer the players though. Both games let you edit wrestlers to an extent. In Revenge, you have costume change. You can edit the names, costumes, and colors of all wrestlers and attires. It's extremely limited, honestly, but it is better than nothing. They even included extra mask designs for certain luchadors like Rey Mysterio, Ultimo Dragon, Juventud, and more. No Mercy expanded this idea and allows for much more depth. You can turn all the in-game superstars into something completely unrecognizable. You still can't change movesets, abilities, or relationships, but you can change their names, dimensions, music, and overall appearance. On top of that, you have the ability to make up to 18 unique wrestlers of your own, complete with 4 attires, full movesets, and fighting styles. You can transfer these wrestlers to controller packs and trade them with friends, or just switch them out to theoretically have 36 wrestlers. Even small details like moving wrestlers where you want on the character select screen and the name of their stables is here. Another feature exclusive to No Mercy in this case is create a pay-per-view. You name the event and venue, select the arena, and then make up to 15 matches for your card. You can make any match you want, including championship matches, just like an exhibition mode. Then you can play out all your matches and take breaks in between if necessary, and replay the event again after it's done if you want. Or you can erase it to create a brand new one in its place. Revenge doesn't really feature any extra ways to play. I did mention the high score system. After each match or championship playthrough, you get a score that if it adds up high enough, you can rank in and put your initials on the high score board. This is unique to Revenge and is available for all individual match types and championship paths. You check the top scores in the options menu. No Mercy has the King of the Ring mode tournament for free play. There are many ways to play. You can do singles, tag team, or special match types like cage or ladder match with single or tag options. 3 to 16 entrants compete with the option for a title tourney. Once again, you don't have to finish the event all in one sitting. You can save and come back later even if it's 20 years old, but anytime a title belt is up for grabs in these side modes, it's excluded from play in championship mode and vice versa. For single players, there is survival. You select any wrestler and arena, then you fight through a 100-man gauntlet. You can eliminate foes by way of pinfall, ring out, submission, and total knockout. The more folks you eliminate personally, the more money you make at the end. If a CPU eliminates someone, you miss out on the money and chance for the $1 million bonus. If you haven't unlocked them, certain wrestlers show up throughout the match at various points. Eliminate them to unlock them. Guys like Jerry Lawler and Mae Young show up early, but people you'd actually want to play as like Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley don't show up until the end is near. This is the only way to unlock specific hidden superstars. If you are eliminated at any point, the match ends there and you are taken to the results screen to see how well you did. It's one of the only ways to earn money and can be pretty decent fun. Finally, No Mercy allows you to spend these SmackDown dollars in the SmackDown Mall, of course. Here you buy clothes, moves, characters, arenas, and extra weapons. Some of the prices are definitely unfair, and buying everything will take serious dedication, but the SmackDown Mall was a trendsetter in wrestling games. It makes the game feel so much bigger, and fighting for things feels so much more satisfying in my opinion. Overall, both games do offer the best experience for their respective companies. WCW NWO Revenge is loved to this day and considered the greatest WCW video game ever. This goes for No Mercy and Attitude Era fans as well. They captured moments in time that fans will never forget. The gameplay still holds up with modders and hackers revamping and in some cases creating what feels like completely new experiences with these titles today. While there may be debate in the comments below about which one is better, the fact remains that even to this day, both titles are worth playing for hours on end alone or with friends. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe for Aki content every Sunday. Saturdays I play through the Aki games, and Wednesdays are reserved for non-Aki wrestling games. Above all else though, please remember to have a nice day.